Hey guys, welcome back to Raw Doing Stuff. Today we're doing a pork butt. More specifically, we're going to do a Texas style pork butt. I've already trimmed this up. I made a video on that. I'm going to put a link to that in the description. So if you want to go look at how I trim these, you can do that. But I'm going to bring you in closer and I'll show you how we season this up. Okay guys, so Texas style, the only rub they use is half kosher salt and half 16 mesh black pepper, so coarse ground pepper. I mix this up. I use it a lot on a lot of my beef and stuff. This has enough moisture on it. We don't need any kind of a binder on here. We're just going to season this up. And these can take a lot of seasoning. Get that sill off there, because it's a big piece of meat. You're not going to get the flavor down into the meat. It's just going to be on the bark on the outside. So as you shred that and you mix your pulled pork up, after you shred it, that flavor is going to get in with your bark. That's why I like the bark. That's going to get mixed in with the meat, and it'll be on the outside of it and the inside of it. If you want flavor on the inside of your pork butt, the only way to do that is to inject it, which sometimes I do, but it's not the Texas style. So we're going true Texas style on this one. I've actually never done this before on my own. I've had Texas style pulled pork before, but I've never done it on my own. So we're going to do this up, see how it turns out, and see if we like it better or not as good as the way I normally do it, which is more of a Carolina style barbecue. So you just want to get this around all the edges. Like I say, I don't think you can really get too much on there. It's a big old hunk of meat, and like I say, once you mix that in, it melts in with all the other meat and all the flavors come together. Just makes you some barbecue goodness. So I like to put it on there pretty thick, like so. Some people like to put a little garlic in there as well, but as I read up on it, it seems like the true Texas style is just salt and pepper. So that's what we're going with today. And that's all it takes to season that thing up. So we're gonna go out and get the smoker turned on, and then we will be back with you and show you how we put that on and what temperature we cook it at. Alright guys, it's a little frosty out here this morning, so probably 17, 18 degrees. We got the smoker warmed up, 225. We got some oak pellets in our hopper because that's Texas style, and we're going to get this thing on the pit so I can go back inside because it's cold out here. So I'm going to put this the fat side down, well, where the fat side was down. I'm going to put it usually down on this end, away from my heat source. And we're just going to let that roll. What I want to do is get that to about 160 degrees internal temp. I'll come back in a little bit, put a heat probe in there, but I don't need it in there for the first few hours. This is going to be a low and slow cook, so we're cooking at about between 225, 250. I've got it set right at 230 right now. I usually go right between 225 and 250. Anywhere in there will work, just whatever you prefer. 250, it'll get done a little sooner, but I feel like it retains a little more moisture if you go a little slower. Breaks the fat down just a little better. So anyway, I'm cold. I'm going to go inside and get warmed up, and I'll see you in a few minutes. We'll come back and check on this. Alright, so it's gotten light out. It's been about 4 hours. We're going to check on this there pork butt. Oh yeah, she's looking good. Got some nice color to it. We can get our temp up in there, like so, in the thickest part. And get this thing closed before we lose too much heat. But yeah, she's looking good. We'll be back when it hits 160 to wrap it up. Alright guys, so our pork butt is hitting internal temperature about 170. Usually I pull it about 160, but the bark wasn't quite set at 160, so I let it go just a little longer. So we're going to pull this off. We're going to take it over here to our foil. We're gonna get it wrapped up. It's looking really good. So all you gotta do is this way. We're gonna wrap this up this way, and then we're gonna dump this in there. Now this is half a cup of apple juice, or sorry, quarter cup apple juice and a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar. So we're just going to get this wrapped up, wrap it up nice and tight. 2 layers of foil, and then we're going to get it back on the smoker. Take it to about 205, 204, somewhere in there, and then we'll be ready to let it rest, pull it apart, and we'll have some cold pork. So we're just going to get this back on over here. Take our probe, put it back in where it was, thickest part, and we're just going to let it roll until it's done. Alright guys, our pork butt said the internal temperature of 205. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this thing off here, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Hey guys, so I got this off. We've got a towel here that we're going to wrap it in, but I want to get the liquid out of here. I'm going to take a fork. I'm just going to poke a hole in this, and I'm going to drain it off. What I do with this is I put it in the fridge while this rests in the cooler. Then all the fat moves to the top. I scrape the fat off. Then I can reheat this and dump it over the meat once I have it shredded. Adds a little bit of extra flavor to it. See, there's quite a bit of juices in there. Get all that out. And we're going to take this thing, that's warm. We're just going to wrap it in this towel. We'll put the side with the hole in it to the top, so we don't leak all over our cooler and make a mess. Just going to stick that in here. We're not going to eat for a couple hours, so that'll be good in there. Then we'll come back and I'll shred that up. I'll show you how we do that. I'm going to take this in and get it in the fridge. Alright guys, so this has been resting here for a couple hours. We're going to get it out of this cooler, see what we got. Pull it out, get it out of this towel. Still nice and warm. I can feel it even through my gloves here. Get this opened up. Oh yeah, look at that. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. It's just gonna fall apart. I can feel it right now. Get this out of the way. And we'll get this shredded up. Alright guys, so we got our Texas style brisket here, or not brisket, pulled pork butt. We're going to pull this out. Look at that bone, that's how it's supposed to be. It pulls out clean as can be. We're going to pull a piece of this off. Have a little taste here. It's good. Salt, pepper, tastes good on there. Easy, simple recipe for a pork butt. It's not what I'm used to. It's not the same, but it's still really good. We give the Cameron man a taste here, see what he thinks.
Good.
Yep, 2 thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna get pulled apart, and we're gonna go eat dinner. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.